So yeah, it's exactly what you think. I decided to review this show now that no one cares about it. I swear I have not watched this show ever. I mean, I don't hate my brain cells, that's why I decided not to watch it. But then again, I am running out of ideas to talk about, so I thought I may as well torture myself. I mean, review this show. And yup, I will be doing it episode by episode. So yeah, that's a whole 9 videos you guys can look forward to. So if you like this video, then definitely subscribe because more of this crap will be coming out twice a week. So with that out of the way, let's get into this review. Or maybe a reaction is a better word. Well, you might notice that this episode is downloaded on my VLC player. And yeah, this is exactly what it looks like. I have downloaded this episode through other means necessary because, well, Disney Plus is not available in my country. So yeah, with that out of the way, well, I'm also not going to be playing this episode because obviously copyright gets really annoying. So I'm just going to skip through it like that so we can avoid copyright, obviously. So yeah, I definitely watched this show. I swear I watched this show. Please don't interrogate me. So yeah, this show starts off weirdly. Jen is sitting there and she is practicing her speech, and we have, guess what do we have? We have an incompetent male white guy telling Jen that he should be the one to give the speech because, well, he's a white guy who is degrading a woman because that's what all white guys do. Great, like we are off to a really, really great start with this show. So we move forward, and obviously that white guy is thrown out of the office because no one cares about that guy. He's probably on this show to be shat on anyway. So Jen is talking, and then she is going to go outside of the office, and then she comes back and she says, well, I am She-Hulk. And then we go back to a flashback, and this is right now a flashback. Jen is sitting with Bruce Banner and she's in a car, and they're talking about, well, Steve Rogers being a virgin because this is what Marvel is now, talking about the virginity of our male hero characters. Okay, with that very sad thing out of the way, let's move forward. Yep, this is my expression right now too. So, she's driving normally, and then a goddamn spaceship shows up right over there. Yep, a spaceship for no reason. And they will later mention that this spaceship was from Sakaar. Like they just mention it in a passing, like this spaceship has no relevance to this show whatsoever, which is really annoying. Like I want to focus on the good part. Like let's look at this spaceship. Let's talk about this. Where did this spaceship come from? But no, this entire episode will just ignore a goddamned spaceship because they want to focus on Jen being a She-Hulk, or she's trying not to be a She-Hulk or a superhero. So again, the car crashes. So Jen very heroically she saves Bruce Banner and pulls him out of the car. And as she was pulling him out of the car, a little bit of Bruce's blood gets into Jen's wound on her arm. This wound. So, well, she turns into She-Hulk, and they will later explain that she was able to turn into She-Hulk because their genes are special. So only she could turn into She-Hulk by this way, because she's Bruce's cousin and they share the same genetic makeup or something. So that's why she turned into She-Hulk. So if there was someone else in Jennifer's place, they would not turn into Hulk, or so I would imagine. But in the later episodes, as I recall, because I did watch some reviews of this show, there was one cartoonish looking guy who did turn into a Hulk. So I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah, I'm going to continue watching this show until we get to that point, and we might figure out there might be a reason for that. So Jen turns into a She-Hulk frantically, and she runs through the forest, and she will pass out, and then she'll wake up, and then this was a really funny scene, and she sees a motel or something, and she walks into the bathroom to clean herself up, and a couple of women show up. These women, like, oh my god, this is so funny. And they show up and they're like, oh my god, girl, you are so dirty. Let us fix you up. And she's a complete stranger, and these women they just walk in and they start dressing Jennifer up and they start doing her makeup. And this was so funny. Like she's a complete stranger. Like I've never been to a woman's bathroom before, but if there's any woman by any chance watching this video, can you tell me this is a feasible thing that can actually happen? Like please let me know. Like these group of women, they just walk in and they start dressing Jen up like they're just sisters. They have known her for so long. I don't know, man. I really found this scene absolutely weird. Like no, like women would not do that. At least I don't think so. So she will go outside, and well, guess what happens outside at night when women stand alone? A couple of white boys will show up. It's like a Bloody Mary thing that you will stand in the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror in the dark and you will say Bloody Mary 3 times and then Bloody Mary shows up. It's the same thing. If you're a woman, you can just stand in the dark at night alone and a couple of white boys will show up to harass you. So yeah, so these guys harass Jennifer and then she will turn into She-Hulk and she will scare the crap out of them, and then seemingly very quickly, it's a very quick shot, Hulk will come and he will tackle her, and well, she will wake up once more from her nap, and there's actually a little bit of blood on her, which is a nice detail actually. And she's going to wake up, she's going to change clothes, and she's on an island in Mexico somewhere with Professor Hulk, and she's going to walk down and there is our Hulk, and this is actual laboratory that Hulk and Tony built themselves. So it was a nice detail. I like that they are kind of filling in the gap from the previous movies that we kind of never really questioned, but it's nice that they even mention those things because it just fills up. Like Hulk and Tony, they were probably chilling there and they were like talking and they were just spending some time together just chilling, and it's kind of really nice to think about. So Hulk has been here in the laboratory. He's been analyzing Jennifer's blood and he says that Jennifer's blood sort of absorbs gamma radiation in a different way than Hulk's does. So he's been able to use Jennifer's blood to heal his arm. If you notice, his arm is healed because it was really banged up in the end game. So he's been able to heal his arm, and Jennifer is like, so my blood is better than yours. My genetics are better than yours. So again, that kind of a superiority thing, I absolutely hate that. Why can't she be just a little bit humble? I don't know. Like, is that too much of a difficult thing to comprehend? I guess not. And over here, Hulk will ask Jennifer to, well, do some training to be Hulk. And because Hulk has definitely been, well, Hulk for a long time, he's able to have some experience and he's made notes on, like, his life and his experience as Hulk. So he thinks that his notes will be able to help Jennifer. Well, I'm just going to give you a spoiler warning. No, they will not, because Jennifer is so much superior than Hulk that she absolutely has no struggle being able to adapt into her Hulk persona. And persona is something like she doesn't even have a Hulk persona. Like if you know, like Bruce Banner is one person and Hulk is a different person. So Jennifer sort of doesn't have that separate personality. So she doesn't have to like suffer like Hulk did for a long time. So she doesn't really have a lot of struggles to go through like Hulk did. And this is where Hulk is trying to teach Jennifer how to control her Hulk powers, and she will be able to transform into Hulk over here. You've probably seen this thing in the trailer as well, and she breaks the whole thing, and Hulk is kind of surprised because Jennifer is like in her actual form. She's able to talk like a sentient human being. She's not dumb like Hulk is. She's able to talk, and Hulk is obviously surprised. But the thing is, if she was like in her own mind, why did she break this thing? Why? She could have just destroyed the blades, but she came out, destroyed the entire thing. Weird. And moving on. Okay, so now Hulk is going to be teaching Jennifer some techniques on how to be a Hulk. He's just like going through some casual stuff like how to be Hulk, which is, well, kind of interesting to watch, not interesting to explain. So I'm just going to skip over that. They're just throwing boulders around and that's probably not as interesting. So yeah, you can just see like how She-Hulk is kind of showing off like, oh, she's so better than Hulk. Yep. So this is the scene that a lot of people hated because this is the scene where She-Hulk will compare her trauma of being, well, a woman to Hulk's trauma of being like a goddamned fugitive and running away from a country's army and trying to live his life and trying to control the monster inside him from destroying literally everything around him. And yeah, like she's on a trauma wars right now. So yeah, it was a really annoying scene, as annoying as, well, everyone has been talking about. It wasn't any better now that I've watched this scene in the context of this entire episode. This scene is not any better. Like I never imagined Hulk, who punched a goddamned alien centipede thing into the goddamned ground, to be sitting here doing yoga with his cousin and listening to her talk about Hulk's male white privilege. I never imagined I would see the day, but here we are. So yeah, Jennifer Walter will transform into She-Hulk here and then back into Jennifer Walters, showing that she has complete control of her She-Hulk powers. And then she wants to leave, and Bruce is obviously trying to stop her, and they're going to fight for it. And she's trying to leave over here, and Bruce wants her to stay because, well, Bruce thinks that she needs more time, and Jennifer says that she doesn't want to be a superhero and that she thinks that she has enough training because obviously she can control her transformation unlike Hulk could. So yeah, she thinks she's ready to go back to her old job, and obviously Hulk is skeptical. They will fight for a bit, which was somewhat interesting to watch, and then they quickly make up, and then She-Hulk will help Bruce repair the bar that Bruce built with Tony Stark. And well, Hulk admits that he's wrong and that he's ready to let Jennifer go back to, well, being a lawyer. And then she goes back, and now we're here, and she is going to give her speech that she was preparing for at the beginning of this episode. And this is a really weird scene because she's about to give her speech. She is going to stand up, and then this woman, Titania, I think is her name, she just blasts through the goddamn courtroom door, and you're like, what the hell just happened? And this scene was really choppy as well because you don't know what's happening. And well, I don't care about the storytelling aspect of it because it will probably be explained in the next episode, but the fight scene where She-Hulk will punch her was really bad. It was really bad, man. It was really bad. Like, if you haven't watched this thing entirely, and even if I play this thing right now, but I'm not going to do that, but if I did play this thing, you would think that I am editing this thing in a way to make it look bad, like I've cut some parts and then stitched them afterwards. But I assure you, I have not done anything like that. You can go watch the official episode, and the fight scene looks really bad. Like, she just comes and then she's flying into air. It looks bad. Look at that. I'm trying not to play too much because obviously you get copyright issues. And there you go. That looked really bad. There you go. I hope I won't get a copyright strike for that. I'm taking a hit for you guys, but yeah, that is what happened. And I think you will get the point much better if you watch the episode by yourself, because this is probably a really bad way of showing you what I mean. But yeah, this fight scene was really, really bad. But yeah, this is She-Hulk, her story as a lawyer, attorney at law. We're definitely going to see what the second episode has in store for us, because this episode felt like nothing much happened. So while it's true I never watched this show and this was the first time I watched this, I did watch the reviews of the episodes, and I have to say that the first episode, while it's obnoxious, is definitely a lot mild than most reviewers made it out to be. I mean, I am in no way defending this show. She-Hulk was definitely as obnoxious as everyone said, and these garbage scenes are filled throughout the entire show. But when there aren't any garbage scenes, the show is, well, watchable. But yeah, I can see why people would hate this show, because I, as a viewer, and I am actively trying to ignore the bad scenes to enjoy, well, enjoy is a strong word, to go through this show is more like it. You can't ask everyone to do the same. Although if you are a Marvel fan, you would appreciate some details like Tony and Bruce Banner building a lab together and getting some insight as to what happened during the blip. It was nice. Well, I guess it was only nice when they were referring to the past, I guess, and filling in some gaps. As for the editing, I think it was really weird and cuts were really bad, especially towards the end when Titania shows up. But I think I need to keep watching the show to see if that kind of choppy editing was on purpose. So far, this episode didn't really had much to offer. Jennifer Walters just turns into She-Hulk and she does some training with Hulk and shows him that she is, well, better than Hulk in every aspect. You know, the normal Marvel shtick in Phase 4 and Phase 5. But I guess I'll learn more about this show as I watch more of it. For now, this is it. Let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, it's time for a goodbye.